Hey everyone, welcome to Polypop. This time, I am really excited to announce that we have a guest reviewer. If you've spent any time poking around on Tumblr looking for blogs about polyamory, you have probably heard of polyrolemodels. It is a blog that does interviews with various polyamorous people, and it's just a really great place to see what we seem to have in common, and also how diverse we are. Well, today, the creator of Polyrolemodels is going to be reviewing one of his favorite songs for us. And as always, what he has to say is brilliant. So if you haven't already, definitely check out Polyrolemodels over on Tumblr. And while you're there, check out the entire community. I have been having so much fun over there lately. And with that, let's get to Kevin's review.
Hey everybody, this is Kevin from the Polyrolemodels blog, here to do a little polypop reviewing. I wanted to take a look at a song that I love. That song is the Grammy Award winning You Got Me by The Roots featuring Erykah Badu. Now, you may be familiar with The Roots as Jimmy Fallon's band, first on Late Night and then eventually on The Tonight Show. Hopefully you're also familiar with them as a band that's been putting out really great music for going on 3 decades now. I became a fan back in 1996 during my freshman year in college. I bought a copy of their third album, Elidel Half-Life. I never gave back that copy. Sorry, Mike. Instead, I went out and bought their first 2 albums, Organics and Do You Want More, and immediately became a lifelong fan. The Roots' 4th studio album, my personal favorite, Things Fall Apart, and the song You Got Me, kind of marked a commercial bump to go along with the critical acclaim that the Roots had always received. It was also sort of a weird convergence of professional success. Performers Eve and Jill Scott wrote the second verse and the chorus respectively. And while they both go on to some pretty massive success as both musicians and actors, at the time, outside of Philadelphia, they were pretty much unknown. The Roots, also from Philadelphia, while they had gained a little bit of international buzz, hadn't really quite hit their breakthrough yet in America. So Jill Scott's singing parts were re-recorded by Erykah Badu. Now, Erykah Badu was super high profile at the time. In the last 2 years, she had released a triple platinum selling debut album and a double platinum selling live album. Now, the record company wanted this song to bring the Roots into stardom, and that's exactly what it did. Now, the song itself is the story of Black Thought, lead MC of the Roots, and an unnamed paramour. Now, despite previously living on the same floor of the same building in the same city of Philadelphia, they don't actually meet until they bump into each other at one of his performances, in Paris of all places. She's a film student, and she asks if he can provide the score for a movie she's working on. A romance sparks, and they agree to try to reconnect once they're back stateside. They do, and it's awesome. And that's where the break happens for me. The second verse starts with Black Thought explaining that he's always on the move. He might need to bounce in the middle of the night, he might be on an airplane when you least expect it, he might be gone for weeks or months at a time. He's a musician, so it sort of comes with the territory. These songs, while by no means autobiographical, are drawn from a lot of personal experience. Now, the Roots were performing something like 200 to 250 days a year when this album came out. So it's not a stretch to think that the Black Thought in the song is as prolific a performer as the Black Thought in real life. The rest of the verse describes our unnamed paramour's pain and sacrifice. Their relationship takes a backseat to his career. She's in school, so it's not like she can go out on tour with her guy. She describes having other potential suitors, but she won't give him the time of day. Instead, she spends her nights lonely, pining, waiting on a guy that'll come back, but will eventually be gone again just as quickly. In all honesty, it would be unfair of her to ask him to slow it down. She acknowledges that he has to go out and earn his money, but at the same time, she acknowledges that she's hurting without him. Now, in our mononormative culture, this is to be expected. But why? I mean, examine what they're really asking of each other here. 2 people who grew up that near to each other, but only met by chance half a world away? That deserves to be explored. It's actually kind of magical that they got together. And it continues to be magical when they are together. But in the meantime, in between time, when they aren't together, they're asking each other to pretend that it's still magical. They're asking each other to keep those fires burning at the same temperature. They're asking each other to pretend this relationship is something that is just not. An exclusive relationship between 2 people who are at very different points in their lives and in their careers. The question is never asked, but what happens when she finishes school? She might be on the road as much as he is with her career. So again, in our mononormative culture, either they stay together in this relationship that's almost designed to breed resentment, or they break up this magical connection. And either one of those options is supposed to be seen as the virtuous one? When viewed through the lens of polyamory, both of those options seem pretty absurd. It's ridiculous that she's expected to put her love life on hold for a guy that's never there. And it's equally ridiculous that he's expected to be on tour all over the world and not establish new relationships with any of the wonderful and unique people that he'll undoubtedly meet. So, if either of them meets someone else, equally awesome, but for a different reason, is it just a game of who met who first? And what if they had already had significant others in their lives at the beginning of this song? Does the song just cease to exist? Does this amazingly coincidental connection just become meaningless? It's kind of silly. Now, isn't there value in being able to love who you will and choosing to be together when the situation is mutually fulfilling, and then respecting each other's autonomy when it isn't? Instead of having an obligation to wedge a relationship into a box that it doesn't really fit in, and then needing constant reassurance that it's more stable than it really is. Isn't there value in regarding every interaction as unique as the people within it? It's like saying, our love is so strong that it survives the pain we inflict on each other, when it could just as easily say, our love is so strong it survives the freedom we allow each other. Now, I don't know about you, but if I've got something great going with my partner, I don't take joy in knowing that she's hurting when I'm unavailable to her. I don't feel more loved by her pain. I don't believe there's honor in willfully hurting yourself for love if you don't have to. And I don't like the idea that she or I has to forego a chance at love, even though it has zero effect on the love we've already established, all for some societal standard that should be regarded as opt-in or opt-out. And it's for these reasons that this song that I love, just doesn't make sense to me anymore. It's still great music though. Great song, great album. Go listen to it. Go buy it. Do it now. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, and for more reviews like this, make sure you follow Polypopreviews on Tumblr. And if you want to check out my interview series with the wonderfully unique, perfectly flawed people that make up polyamory, check me out on Tumblr as well at polyrolemodels. Thank you.